3, 2, 1, go.
Boom.
Well, the red light is on. So, Chad, what episode is this, Chad?
Episode number 174. Good morning.
Is it morning?
Is it good?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Is the question.
Well,
Hey,
yeah.
It's not bad for a Tuesday, right?
Yeah. It's never bad for a Tuesday.
Yeah. I'm just glad everybody's here. You'll notice up above me. I changed here today. I wanted to put the lovely Leslie
Yeah.
Haven original art piece in the back. I call it the vagina verse.
Yeah.
So
the Marion Trench is Marion's Trench.
yeah. Looks like you got some work there behind you as well. That young lady is keeping busy over your shoulder.
That's some, yeah. Well, she's got a new one that's all black, and the question is, how much more black can it be?
Oh, much more. I know her, and I know you.
She's got some plans for that one.
Excellent.
And
Yeah,
this is some older work that she brings to show. That's her show stuff.
what's her website? Since we're going to be plugging today,
LD Haven Fine Art.
ldhavenfineart.com. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, quite a lot's happened since we say again.
That's what I think it is. I think.
Oh my God.
LD Haven Fine Art. There we go.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Show notes, people. Show notes.
Yeah. There you go. That's what they're for. Bunch of stuff happened since we saw you last. Last time we talked, we were on tour, and now we're
That's
on nothing.
Couch.
Yeah. We're on floor.
You had a little adventure this past week.
Yeah.
You played a acoustic solo show.
I did.
Our old friends Joe and Hugh Morrison.
Yeah, Joe Walmsley. We've had him on here.
Yeah, we have.
God love him. He still hasn't mastered the English language. He's from the. He was a brilliant. He is a brilliant entertainer, and Hugh, great singer songwriter as well from Scotland, and myself. And it was actually a really good pair. I put the show together at the Big Top through our good friend Alan Hill. So Joe Walmsley from Liverpool is on a green card, and when you're working in America on a green card, you must jump through many hoops, and it's not just you get a green card and you're in. You've got to continuously produce paperwork, documents, and just basically you're just under the microscope of the government when you're working for that, and it's just. So he's at a point now where he's been over here for 16 years. He's been in the States for San Antonio for most of them. God love him, but he's trying to. He's hanging on by a thread, he's done everything right. He files the paperwork on time. He's paying out the nose for lawyers, and he's still at risk of any moment being sent back to Liverpool. His 16 he has a teenage daughter, and she's never lived anywhere else but here, and she'll be sent with the So anyway, I wanted to. He's got to get more stuff on his resume, JoeWalmsley.com, but he's got to. So I put that show together so he could put a Houston date on there, and we'll do it again. Again, I wasn't going to put somebody on there that's going to be a monkey that's going to have nothing to do. Just he is a great entertainer, great songwriter, phenomenal talent, and so I put it together. I just thought it might be good to have an Englishman, Irishman, Scotsman, in a bar that's doing something else besides making fun of priests, So so good night and well attended, and it was last Thursday night. And Chad, I appreciate you doing the little promo for us because we forgot on the thing, but it was nice turnout, and the Big Top's a great room, really good for a set like that, acoustic, intimate,
Yeah, sorry, I hadn't been there in a long time. I don't remember that little stage being there on the corner. It's not much. It's maybe 3 inches off the ground.
Yeah, it's like somebody threw a coaster over there.
Right. But because it used to just be just the flat floor right in the corner. I don't
That
remember
was a
there
long,
being.
long, long time ago, Chad.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Like I
As long
said,
as, long
I
as
haven't
I've
been
played
there in a while.
the stage, as
Yeah.
long as I played there, which has been a very long fucking time. So
Okay.
yeah.
Maybe I just haven't stood close enough to it to notice it.
Yeah, or maybe you just haven't brought your guitar.
Yeah,
So
well, that's definitely true. But I've only been there to see. I saw Nick Gaitan play there once, and I saw Jim, Pete and Jim. What do they call their thing?
yeah,
At
Peter
Wednesdays.
James,
Peter and James. Yeah, I've seen Peter James a bunch of times.
the dazzling Pete Gray, and Jim
Yeah,
Hinkle. Yeah.
that's about it, I think.
And Eric, you've played there with 1,000 people, right?
About 1,000 times. Yep. There's a hole in the wall, like an actual hole in the wall that I put there.
Glory hole?
Yeah. But it's like 7 feet in the air.
And pray tell.
We were goofing off, and we were like doing like an oldie show, and there may have been a few drinks involved.
No.
That band tends to have a spot of sherry after dinner in the library, you know.
Yes.
And we were doing a big rock ending, and I ended up like grabbing my hi-hat stand and going like this, and the top of the hi-hat stand poked into the wall. I was like, whoops. Good
So
times.
that is definitely not a glory hole then. Okay, damn it.
Unless you're a giant, because it's very, very high.
Well, I was going to say it's very wee, but that's good.
So when are y'all going to do that again? You were talking about
Oh no, that'll happen
San
again.
Antonio. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do it again in San Antonio. I want to do another one in Houston, possibly back in the same spot. It was just the playing acoustic thing to me is for us, for Blaggards, it's a pain in the ass because it's just a lot of our stuff doesn't translate to I don't feel it translates to acoustic, but
Sure.
but I learned a bunch of new stuff, and I've actually written a bunch of new stuff because of the acoustic guitar. When you sit with an acoustic guitar or you sit with an electric guitar, you really you tend to go in very, very different directions. So preparing for that acoustic show, I didn't want to do the regular stuff, the stuff that I've already done. I wanted to kind of challenge myself and learn a few new songs.
Yeah.
And in doing that, for our kill and for our kill and save section today, I've gone and completely, just I put what I was originally going to do on the back burner now because of that. So it's just nice. You get into this whole other area. It's just a whole new world of ideas, and I think when you do that. So
Yeah, that seems like a much better length show than, I'm thinking about the shows we used to do at Molly's because it was different. It was different because there were duo shows when you and I were there, but there was. I mean, that was the last time I actually did a solo gig was at Molly's downtown, and it was trying to fill by yourself, trying to fill a full 4-hour show. It gets torturous after a while. Just God damn it! Somebody help me! This is too much to do by myself.
Well, 4 hours. 4 hours. We all agree. 4 hours for a band. 4 hours for a band is stupid. It's stupid length. I know porn stars that can't fill 4 hours.
And I shudder to think what because Joe just loves what he does, but he must have, I imagine he must have gigs that are longer than that he's done in his work, but I don't know. But that's just his thing.
But again, those musicians, when you're doing, so he plays at a place called Waxy O'Connor's on the Riverwalk in San Antonio, and when you're doing that show, he plays on the iPad, which to me is essentially having a music stand on stage. I fucking hate it. But when you're doing that, you're working for the club. You're that aforementioned monkey that has to do the tricks for the thing. Now he's written some great music, and he's like I say, he's a great entertainer, and he knows a bunch of these songs. However, to me, it feels like somebody's just choking the life out of you when you have to go through an iPad or a music stand and play from the sheet versus the. That's why I wanted to go. That's why I wanted to do some new stuff, because it's a challenge, to remember lyrics and tempos, and and then I try to put my own little thing on it, so it's not a regurgitation of a song, So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was cool. I for those of you who weren't there, Patrick did a rendition of Second Worst Girlfriend off of Blaggards, which was not the one I would have expected you to play, I'm not sure which one I was expecting you. But what was cool about that is you actually played the guitar solo in the middle, which I know how much you've bitched about playing solos on acoustic before, because it's not easy trying,
Well,
anyway.
Well, the thing about playing solos when you're in a band situation is the guitar just dies. It just, you're going from playing, a bunch of strings or picking strings at a time, and there's harmonics, and there's the body of the guitar, the body sound of the guitar. Then you go to a solo, and if you're doing one or two or three strings on a solo, it gets buried in a thing. When you're on your own, you can shut the fuck up and make it happen.
Yeah.
So I just retooled the solo just to, and also when you get somebody up there and they're just strumming three fucking chords and singing the same bullshit over and over and over again, you got to do something different. You got to do, I've never liked capos on guitar except for an acoustic thing, because you make it sound like a whole new instrument when you move the capo up the string. Anyway, so it was I did have the set that I played was actually half as long as what I'd prepared. Because I wanted to open the show, because I wanted to introduce Hugh and Joe to this crowd. They haven't played, Joe hasn't played Houston, and Hugh actually does play Houston quite a bit, but he doesn't move in the same circles. So it was that was a new venue for both of them, and they thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought they did really well. So
yeah. Again, that was interesting seeing Hugh, whom we've known, of course, as an accordion player. We used to play with him many years ago.
Yeah, he had an accident, so he can't play. His shoulder can't.
Yeah, he can't do it for very long. So I was talking with him about it after his set. So it's not like he can't play. Not like he can't play at all, but he just can't really perform with it anymore, which is a shame. But he's actually, so he literally picked up a guitar. Patrick was telling me about this months ago. He literally taught himself guitar after this accident, but it sounds like he's been playing for years, and he's actually pretty damn good.
Yeah,
very, very, very steady right hand, and good sense of time and all that stuff. So
yeah, we need a cajon, fun. Eric. We need you to come in on the cajon.
Sorry, I sold it.
Yeah, it's gone.
I love the girl in Austin.
Lovely.
Oh, really?
I thoroughly enjoyed that for the few 3 or 4 minutes that we had it, but it was painful to watch you slumping like that, the whole time.
Yeah,
that's how you play it.
It looks so uncomfortable.
Yeah, I know.
But you made it sound like $1 million.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Folks, if you want to see that, just check out any of our old live streams from the pandemic from 2020. Yeah. There's a bunch of that stuff.
The quarantine.
They call me.
Say it again.
I'm a drummer. Anyway,
I am not an animal.
It was a big week last week. We had Patrick's solo show with the guys. We had Chad's birthday, which I totally missed.
Oh yeah.
And we had Tara's graduation.
Yeah.
It's been a big, busy week.
Yeah.
100 degrees every single fucking day.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it's been fucking brutal.
It's been warm.
Getting kind of sick of this shit.
It's Tuesday, so I'm actually in Indianapolis. I mean, I brought all this artwork and all these drums with me because, I can't be without my stuff. But it's also 98 degrees in Indianapolis. So,
great.
No escape.
Well, at least you got shit food to look forward to.
If you like steak and corn, the Midwest is the place for you.
Yeah. But even still, oof. And then, I don't know. It smells like it's killing time. I
think you're right.
I think it's time to kill. I'm going to read, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to read. This is under the kill category, and I'll read it first, and then you'll probably be able to surmise the source from which it came. And it goes like this. To the management of SlapperCast, please kill Dancing in the Dark by Bruce Springsteen. All right, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. However, it launched a form of Velveeta that cannot be melted, a style of video production that can't be unseen, a fashion movement that will clog landfills for centuries, a unique, incurable STD, and the career of Courtney Cox. Until that song is no more, all musicians are responsible for the hellscape the human race has suffered. So that came in from the one, the only June Narnia, and as in pure Italian fashion, it's perfect. Nobody can argue with that. That song comes on, that comes on, just like, God, enough. And I fucking love Bruce Springsteen, So for that song, yes, I'd be more than happy to kill it, and I think that's a must. So
it's funny because I was just scrolling through to find a song. I found a song. I paused on Dancing in the Dark, like, it's too easy.
Yeah.
But
A lot of these.
I'm sort of surprised that, I mean, even after June wrote all those eloquent words, when June and I text, she'll send me like parody lyrics.
Yes.
To a song that are actually really fucking funny.
Yeah.
And so I was surprised that June didn't forward like at least a verse of Dancing in the Dark with some new lyrics. So June, if you're listening, you owe us.
I concur. I concur. That's beyond. That should be a law. That should be a fucking law. That guy is. That guy. That chick. That slick chick. She needs to be on that. She needs to be on those. Yeah, because the stuff that I've received has been side splitting and. Mm-hmm. A lot of time, like you say, parody to me is an STD. Parody is, like the oh yeah, I've got a great COVID song. That's it. No, you don't. What you have is a fucking disease, and you need to be put down. But when you take lyrics like that, you take Dancing in the Dark lyrics, for instance, and you make them, a June Narnia production. You've just, excuse me. You've just saved the world. So, yeah, I couldn't agree more. So, killing. Who's up for killing?
I was torn between two different numbers, and these are both really, really obvious ones to kill. But we've got to get this out of the way sooner or later. Layla, very obvious one. This is that. I mean, just immediately is right on the same. Not here. It's not here with Hotel California and
cocaine.
Yeah, God, just completely overplayed to death. But there was something else I learned about the song recently that just underscores how much of a fucking prick Eric Clapton is. And that piano piece that follows Layla, it's also an instrumental section that
the only redeeming part of the song,
which. Not only did he not write, the person who brought it to the table didn't write it either. The only person who got credit for it on the song, Jim Gordon, who was his drummer at the time, who later turned out to be a psychopath. He's in prison now for killing his own mother. I think you made reference to that not recently, but you talked about that on the show at one point.
Oh, Jim Gordon.
So Jim had been previously, before they recorded that record, he had been in a relationship with a singer named Rita Coolidge, who she got a lot of big hits in the 70s. One was yeah. Didn't she? One of them was Boz Scaggs. We're Alone Now. That one of those big light rock songs.
Possibly.
How's that go? Let it out, let it all begin. Learn how to pretend. I think.
Oh yeah.
I think that
was the window.
Yeah.
All right. I used to love that song when I was a kid.
Yeah. She didn't. That was Boz Scaggs. I think that her version was the big hit of that in the 70s that I recall. Anyway, but she had written this song when she was still dating Jim called "Time," and she had actually heard the way she tells it. that she and Jim, they were playing with somebody else, and they went to go visit Eric. To I guess as they're getting ready to do the Derek and the Domino stuff that Jim was on, and they presented this song to him. They actually played it for him, and she left him with a demo copy of it. And she says that Eric liked it and all that stuff. But then she never heard anything about it, and she and Jim broke up. And later, I can't remember where she was. She was, I think she was doing a photo shoot or something, and she heard Layla come on the radio, and then the end section comes on, and her blood starts boiling, and she goes and checks and sees that the credits are only Eric Clapton and Jim Gordon. So she's freaking out, and so she did everything she thought she was supposed to do to try to figure out what was going on and to make it right. And she was just completely gaslit by the record company and particularly Eric's manager at the time. Eric wouldn't even talk to her about it. And his manager said, like, well, what are you going to do? Like, didn't even deny it. Basically said, what are you going to do? You're just a girl. You think you can beat me in court? Just, nice try. So she said, screw it. And she kind of let it go because she couldn't. I mean, probably the legal battle probably would have destroyed her financially at the time.
Ooh.
But, and she, so she pretty much blames Eric squarely. Obviously, it was Jim who was being the prick who brought it. And if you listen to it, it was funny enough. Her sister later recorded it, Priscilla Coolidge, who was married to Booker T. Jones, as fate would have it at the time. And the two of them recorded a version of the actual song with the lyrics and everything. And it's kind of an R&B thing. It's kind of thing I would have imagined maybe somebody like Dionne Warwick might have been able to do a good version of it at the time. But I don't know if anybody ever recorded it. But if you listen to that, it's just exactly all the same chord changes, the same melody. It's all there. It's this complete straight rip. And what I just can't. Eric had to have known what was going on. I think the story is that he blamed Jim Gordon for it, and that's why they had a falling out. I'm not sure, but the story's been corroborated too by I think everybody else who was in that band at the time.
You mean falling out like a kid falling out of a window?
Yes, exactly.
I've just cracked the case.
Yeah.
Just cracked the case. Number one.
Anyway. But yeah, the actual keyboardist in the band, Bobby Whitlock, has corroborated that story along with Graham Nash and all these other people who were there at the time. So, fuck you, Eric Clapton.
Good kill. Eric Clapton ruins everything.
Does.
Yeah.
This one, I don't know if I've ever seen this movie all the way through. A lot of people did. This is an 80s movie. Starred a very young Kevin Bacon. Back when he was making like the teen movies. The song is called Footloose by Kenny Loggins. And there was a point in the 80s, and remember back that far, when you couldn't turn around and there wasn't a song on a movie by Kenny Loggins.
Mm-hmm.
The Loggins and Messina stuff, I can, except for, your mama don't dance, your dad don't rock and roll is kind of stupid. But
yeah,
there's some Loggins, Kenny Loggins stuff that I actually, that's a good song. It's a good, well-written song. It's a pop song or whatever. Or it's a nice song, and there's nothing wrong with it. But again, I think what we're running into with a lot of the songs that we kill are that it's just, there's a reason why it's a hit is because people like it. And the reason why it's a hit is because it's played all the fucking time.
Endlessly, yeah.
And Footloose is one of those songs. You can turn on any radio station that plays American music, and you'll hear Footloose at some point during the day, I promise.
Yeah,
I can.
Kenny. And good for good for Footloose, but goddamn, that song's annoying.
God, yeah, I agree. And it's one of those songs that doesn't even stir. Even if you did have a good memory, but that correlated with that at the time, it's still not good enough to no. It's awful.
It's too inane. You know. At least he did "I'm All Right" for the Caddyshack soundtrack, and at least there's some interesting production things in it towards the end. It's still just kind of it's not the greatest song in the world, but it's way better than fucking Footloose. I tell you that much.
Yeah. So the one I want to kill is just because I hate the song. It just never rubbed me right. And then if you ever happen to be in a club where somebody is performing this thing, it's usually a beginner, and it's quite terrible every time. But it's Come to My Window, Melissa Etheridge. I've
Oh.
never been a fan of her. Going,
Wow.
God damn, I hate that song. I hate that song more than I hate Knives in the Recti. Anyway, but it's awful. It's awful, and I don't have any background story to. I do. Excuse me. I do. Back in the '90s, I think is when it came out. But the bands, the cover bands would play that song when it came out. Like Tracy Chapman's Fast Car and stuff like that. Which, Tracy Chapman's voice, I love her voice, and I like some of her songs. I hate Fast Car, but Melissa Etheridge, I don't like her voice, and I certainly don't like that song. So death.
So
that's
if you know your '80s, I guess Melissa Etheridge, she was an early '90s thing. Actually,
yeah.
when the first time I saw Little Feat in 1988, she was the opening band, but we missed it because we got to the concert late. But if you play the first part of that chorus and then quickly scoot over to Bryan Adams's "Somebody" and see how they're
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
they're that close.
oh.
Come to my window, I need somebody. Yeah, it's fun.
Wow. We got it.
Got an A and B that shit.
Yeah. There you go. And then just send it back around here, but I'll start with so I've been on a kick of listening to this next artist, and which led me to watch a lot of footage from concerts and a bunch of concerts that are on YouTube and whatever. But if you get a chance, again, I'm not uncovering any great mystery or going back in time. I mean, this is actually, but I've been watching a lot of and listening to a lot of Prince lately, and it was by accident because I learned one of his songs to perform at the acoustic show, which I didn't get to, but in doing that, it opened. I remind, oh yeah, this one. So then I just watch a concert, and if you can find one of those concerts that's Prince approved, and have it on a good system, you can't be on it. It's like being unhappy on a jet ski. It can't happen. You just cannot watch it without smiling. And the musicians and the not choreographed like a Poison video where it's just, we'll all just look like a twat at the same time. No, or look like the same twat at the same time. It's like he says, real musicians playing real music, and they get down. I mean, it's something to behold. That wasn't originally what I was going to rescue, as we say, but it was, and it is. It's just magnificent. So that was my
Cool.
There's that live. Have you seen that live recording of? So the version of Purple Rain that's on the actual soundtrack is a live recording,
Right.
but there's an actual video of that performance, or at least there was on YouTube, where the song is actually longer. There's like an extra verse or something like that, and someone goes through, breaks down what's happening and how they kind of like edit it and cut it together for the actual soundtrack.
Wow.
But it's fascinating to watch. It's really to see Prince sing that song, that actual song on video is mesmerizing.
That actual performance is on the record.
Yeah. I mean, you might have to hunt for it. I just found it by accident one day, and all of a sudden I was like, oh shit, this is the actual recording of the song, and it's from.
I'll look for that. I'll find that.
Find it. It's really, really fascinating.
Wow.
Awesome.
Okay. Good.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got 3 different albums swimming in my head. I'm gonna have to pick one because there's too much to talk about. This one I've been thinking about ever since we started doing this. We've talked about XTC a few times on the show. I know that's
a few times.
Maybe not enough. Well, yeah. However, it's either a lot or not enough.
XTC, me and Chad, like Iron Maiden is to Patrick. It's just like back to it.
It's a deep subject. There's a lot to talk about.
There is a lot to talk about.
A lot to talk about, and this is one of the things I note. A lot of people who know XTC don't or haven't heard this stuff, which is the 2 psychedelic albums they did under the moniker Dukes of Stratosphere. And you can buy this. There's actually a re-release, a remix that just came out recently with some bonus tracks and stuff on it. But if you can find this, the original CD, well, not the original, but the CD, I guess the first CD they put out, which is both records on one CD, called Chips from the Chocolate Fireball or something like that. It sounds frivolous if you're not familiar with it. It's actually not. It's actually incredibly brilliant. And I think some of the best stuff they've ever done. And I think even they tend to kind of underplay it because I think the way they think of it is they're just kind of goofing around when they made that stuff. And it was just like, being as silly as they allowed themselves to be without really thinking about whether it was commercial or cliched or anything like that. And the result was just absolutely brilliant. I thought it was interesting too that they worked with the drummer on that stuff was Dave. Who was it? Was it Dave Gregory's brother? It was it was a brother of one of the guys. I think it was Dave's brother.
I don't know about that. It wasn't the drummer from XTC that had been there. Terry, Word Famous, had been there for a long time. Okay.
Right. No, this guy, I think that guy had left by this point, and this guy was not. I don't think he actually played in any of the actual XTC records. Anyway, I have to look into that. It wasn't somebody. He was. I think he was Dave's brother. I don't think he was a professional. He was a good drummer, but he didn't do it. Professionally. He had something else he was doing. But anyway, it's really, really great stuff. It's incredibly well played, and it's funny, and it's surprising, and it's very, very well produced too. John Leckie is the guy who produced it, and he's infamous in part because of the work that he did with the Dukes of Stratosphere and that stuff. So yeah, absolutely check that stuff out. And some of it is just completely goofy. You can pick out what they're trying to do a pastiche of, like there's a little bit of the Beatles in there, obviously, and there's other kinds of crazy Strawberry Alarm Clock kind of stuff, and the Birds or the Yardbirds. Everybody was kind of playing around with the psychedelic thing in the 60s, so they touch on everything. But there's some songs that just sound like good XTC songs. So it's absolutely worth a listen.
That Vanishing Girl song sounds like something that was taken from the 60s or something like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like the Hollies or something. Yeah.
60s.
Yeah.
ACH, what you got?
I got one song that I really enjoy, and I enjoy the song on just so many levels because of the wordsmith and the drumming especially is just off the fucking charts. And you wouldn't think about like the drumming being so well. I mean, maybe not, but I mean, sometimes like drumming for like singer-songwriter stuff can kind of catch you off guard when it's really kind of hip and when you understand what's happening and when you hear all the little nuancey shit. So there's a song by Jackson Browne. I may have talked about this before. A song by Jackson Browne called "The Pretender," and Jeff Porcaro from Toto plays drums. I mean, he was a studio guy, but obviously a lot of us know him from Toto. He plays drums on it. And if you ever hear that song or you just want to Google it, obviously the song is about a guy that he's trying to maybe live a different life, like nothing weird, just like I have to work all day, but then when I go out, I'm going to pretend I'm somebody else, like I'm whatever. But the lyrics are great, the arrangement is great, but the drums are just so hip. They're just like, and it's just nothing more than really 2 and 4, but all the little shit in between is fascinating. So Jackson Browne, "The Pretender." Go
Very
listen
cool.
now.
Cool.
Yeah, that's the stuff that I really like. Again, when you're watching the Prince stuff, when there's never a moment that you can stop and check your phone. Everybody's doing something all the fucking time, and everybody's happy to be there. That's to me, that's great music. If you can pull that off. But I did see Jackson Browne. I would love to know who it was. I did see Jackson Browne in the 90s do one of those kind of it was at the Satellite Lounge, and he did not an acoustic, but the drummer played on the drum cases, and just very, very laid back. And I don't know who the drummer was, but I just remember just being gobsmacked because I didn't know. My girlfriend at the time I got tickets. She was a huge Jackson Browne fan. I said, "Yeah, I'll go. I don't like the couch." We went to the but again, I wish I'd paid attention to who the drummer was, because it was kind of like, "Huh, you're gonna do that? Okay."
Yeah, some of Jackson's 80s output was pretty not great, like "Laura's in Love" and stuff like that. But this is like '70s and early '80s stuff is definitely that classic, California singer songwriter, like
Yeah.
just really great
With
stuff.
heart, a lot of heart
Yeah, this song means something, and here it is.
Yeah.
But like Lawyers in Love is like, what the fuck? Oof. Terrible.
Yeah.
Song.
It sounds. It's. I saw that. I caught that on YouTube recently for some reason, and it's been years since I heard it, and I thought, hearing the title, I thought it was a Warren Zevon song, because it sounds like something he would write. The title, anyway.
The same cloth, same era.
Yeah. Yeah. And usually when I think of Jackson Browne, the first thing I always think of is "Tender as the Night," which I guess is one of his big hits, right?
He had some huge hits, but it's the stuff, the older stuff, the in between stuff. That's a fucking great song.
Yeah.
Oh, and running on empty too, wasn't that?
Yeah. And album cover with the drum set and Russ Kunkel's giant drum set and stuff like that. Well, of course, it's got that stupid version of the Road Crew song on it too. Ugh.
Right, yeah.
I love that chord progression and I love that melody, but the lyrics and just like,
yeah.
You talked about that recently. I think we were on tour. You mentioned that.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
It goes south pretty quick.
Yeah. Sometimes going south ain't that bad.
Hey now.
As he turns to the Leslie DeHaven. Anyway, so yeah.
Just for the folks at home, it's not a self-portrait.
Yeah. All right, marker. All right, so we're good. We're good. Yeah, and just we're just going through getting ready for the tour at the end of next month, and we want to see you all out there. We want to see you on the road. We got a bunch of stuff on the website. And we do have we got some shirts. We got a bunch of shirts now, and they've been going great. But we have a little bit of coffee left on the website as well, I believe. So, so Blaggards Brew is calling you, and we're gonna have some dates coming up here that you're gonna want to see as well. So, and not to forget. If you're on any of our social media, you'll have seen a new tattoo. Our friend Larry Blackwell has got the Andrew Schramm pirate, his first tattoo, and so we got to see that on Thursday at the acoustic show, and it's magnificent, and we're just blown away by the our friend Johnny Hereford has Blaggards across his knuckles, and the friend of ours that passed away a while ago had Blaggards up here on his shoulder. So we've had a few tattoos, and that's a big fucking deal. I mean that we don't take that lightly. That means a lot, and that we just thank you, and thank you for listening, and thank you for signing the mailing list. We won't call you if you tell us where you're from. We won't just send you all the shit. We'll just send you the stuff you need. Sorry. Last thing is the tour we just came back from with Heidi. She played her ass off, and we have to figure out how to get her to Houston, because she's complained that we've only taken her, to Midwest and East Coast, and she wants to play Houston. She loves everybody that she's met here. We did Paddy's Day here, obviously, but she wants to play some of these clubs. So we're going to figure out another tour and another time so we can get her in here. She was a delight to tour with. We're thrilled that she carried all the gear, did all the driving, made all the food, did the laundry. Shut up, Chad. She did our hair and makeup. She sang us lullabies as we fell asleep, and anyway. So no, she was great, and so I want you guys to see what we've built with her when we get the first opportunity. That will happen. So
Yep, it's gonna be good.
Yeah,
it's gonna be good.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
All right, gentlemen. Another one in the can.
Ooh. Easy now.
We'll see you. We'll see you next week.
See you guys.
Cheers.